The episode Shut Up and Dance from Black Mirror is considered to be the most disturbing one yet. In this episode, we follow a teenager named Kenny who's forced to adhere to a hacker's demands. If he does not follow instructions, the hacker has threatened to release a video of him pleasing himself to everyone he knows. In the beginning, the audience is sympathetic to Kenny. We watch as the demands get increasingly more dangerous until everything explodes into a disturbing twist. A woman is seen hiding a set of keys under the tire of a car. The audience then meets Kenny, who has just gotten home from work and is annoyed to find that his sister unsuccessfully downloaded a movie watching software onto his laptop. He takes his laptop back and downloads a software that removes malware, but unfortunately it's too late and hackers have already infiltrated his device. Kenny gets bored one night and decides to have a bit of alone time in his room, where unbeknownst to him, someone is recording him doing the deed. After going to the washroom to freshen up, he receives an unknown email with a video of him pleasing himself, along with a message threatening to send the video to everyone he knows if he doesn't reply with his phone number. Kenny panics and sends the hackers his number. He immediately receives texts informing him that he's being watched and to keep his location on and await further instructions. Kenny receives his first task when he goes into work the next day, where he's instructed to make an hour-long trip in 45 minutes or else the video will be leaked. Kenny makes it with 90 seconds to spare. Upon his arrival, he's greeted by a man who is instructed by the hackers to give Kenny a box. The man tells Kenny that if he does whatever they want, they'll let him go. Kenny is instructed to deliver the package to a hotel. On his way there, he peeks into the box to uncover a cake decorated with the words "I love you" on top. When Kenny arrives at the hotel, the man in the room refuses to open the door. The hackers tell Kenny to say that Mindy sent him, and the man quickly gives in. Once inside the room, Kenny spills the truth, frantically informing the man that they sent him. The man is confused until he receives a message of his own, instructing him that their next steps need to be done together. According to the man, they need to get a car and head to a location provided to them. Before they leave, the hackers tell Kenny to take the cake with him. Both the man and Kenny are instructed to take the very same car seen at the beginning of the episode. On the way to their location, the man tells Kenny that he's being blackmailed with pictures and videos he sent to a lady of the night, and if this news gets out, his wife will leave him and take full custody of his children. Once they arrive at the location, they're told to look inside of the cake, where they find a gun along with a disguise. A text from the hackers informs them that they have 5 minutes to decide which one of them will rob the bank across the street, while the other becomes the getaway driver. After a little bit of gaslighting from the man, Kenny becomes the robber by default. Kenny is petrified when he heads into the bank. Fortunately for him, the robbery is successful. They're ordered to head to another location just outside of the woods, but when they get there, they're ordered to split up. While the man is told to get rid of the car, Kenny's job is to take the money to a drop point alone. When Kenny arrives, there's a man already waiting for him. Once a drone is released into the air, Kenny is given his final instruction. Him and the man in front of him must fight to the death. The winner gets to keep the money Kenny stole from the bank, and if they don't fight, the hackers will release everything they have on them. The man tells Kenny that his life would be ruined if his blackmail is released to the public. When he asks Kenny what they have on him, the audience finally learns exactly what Kenny had done. It's not just the video of him pleasing himself that he's worried about, but rather the explicit images of children he'd been viewing while doing it. The man charges at Kenny, but panics when Kenny pulls out the gun he used for the robbery. Kenny tries to end his own life, but the gun isn't loaded, leaving Kenny with no choice but to defend his life. The hackers send out one last text of the day to each of their victims. As the episode comes to a close, their lives erupt in flames, because even though they did everything they were told to do, the hackers still chose to release all the blackmail to the public. Kenny is beaten and bloody when he receives a frantic call from his mom as he leaves the woods and is arrested on sight. This episode poses many lessons. One lesson is to remain knowledgeable prior to forming an opinion. From the beginning, the audience is meant to sympathize with Kenny. From our point of view, he was an innocent kid who got caught doing something almost everyone has done. The suspicion lies in Kenny's willingness to go to such extreme lengths to cover it up. It's weird that he's willing to go to such extreme lengths to keep a video like this a secret, and eventually this causes the audience to question the legitimacy of Kenny's actions. Although it'd be embarrassing if a video like this were to get out, it couldn't be worse than going to jail for robbing a bank or even murder. In the end, when Kenny's sickness is revealed, all the sympathy the audience once had is replaced with disgust. Suddenly, all of Kenny's prior actions are being called into question. Was his simple interaction with the little girl at the beginning of the episode innocent, or did he have an ulterior motive? Because we didn't know enough about the situation in the beginning, the audience immediately labeled the hackers as villains, and it wasn't until the end where we realized that they were actually the good guys. Perhaps the lack of futuristic technology in this episode also makes it more disturbing. The accidental download of malware can be done by anybody, meaning anyone can become a victim to having their private information compromised. This episode may not have a necessary meaning behind it, but it does leave the audience wondering about their online privacy. There are jokes circling the internet about secret FBI agents watching your online activity. Shut Up and Dance not only takes that idea and makes it into a reality, but it leaves the audience wondering if their information is actually confidential or if there's someone on the other side watching everything we do.